Welcome back to another episode of the Ark Survival Guide. It is the beginning of another beautiful day in paradise, and we finally crafted some bolas, which is very helpful for defending ourselves against raptors if we need to. And every time I see this oviraptor, I think it's a velociraptor coming to kill me. So one of these days, I'm going to kill this guy. I think he's still a little too fast to catch right now, and I don't really want to waste a bola. I could kill him if I used a bola, but I mean, he's just annoying. He's not worth it. He's not worth it, man. So, wow, that guy is getting closer. We have a big brontosaur in the distance, and we have another parasaur. I'm thinking about going ahead and taming this one too. It's the perfect level. It's a female, should lay eggs. Yeah, what the hey? I'll go ahead and grab this one. So I'm gonna use a bola and just pelt this guy with rocks until he passes out. The good thing about having two parasaurs is each parasaur is a pretty good pack mule, and it'll carry about maybe 300 or 400 pounds worth of stuff. If I have two of them, I double that, so I could effectively not have to run back to the base. So I'll skip forward a little bit. It's exactly the same as taming the last one. Don't want to make you watch that all over again. So, yeah, any second now he should be tamed up and ready to go. Yep, that is just about finished there. I haven't had to use any narcotics or even narco berries on these guys because they're real easy to tame at level 5. So I've just filled them up with berries and left them to do their thing. And as long as I keep them from dying, I got some new friends. So now I got a second Parasaur, and I'm going to have him just set him on follow. And now I can pretty much gather as much as I want, and I will fill him up, and instead of having to run all the way back to the house every time I do something, I can just load it up on the Parasaur. I'm going to increase my movement speed a little bit more. It's going to be real helpful if I run into any dangerous dinos that chase me. And let's see what stuff we can learn now. I'm really tempted to get this Parasaur saddle. They're not incredibly helpful, but I would be able to move a lot more effectively. I think, though, I'm going to start with the bow and arrows, because that will be really helpful for hunting things. I finally got a real projectile weapon. That'll be a lot more effective than what I've been using here. And let's see. Yep, I've got everything I need to craft a bow. That is perfect. So once this finishes, we'll actually have some real hunting we can do. And I'll put the engram for arrows down into my hotbar because we're going to be making a lot of them. Man, I'm getting a pretty decent beard out here. Look like a real survivor now. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our bow. We've stuck that in our hotbar. And now we've crafted our first arrow. So now we're actually ready to start hunting some real stuff. So here I've got my Parasaur. I'm going to use the circle button to pull up the menu that allows me to whistle him to follow. And as you can see, he is leveled up just like I do. I can increase his stats. I'm going to go ahead and increase his weight because that's going to let him carry more, and they're really not very helpful for anything but carrying stuff. So now I have both my Parasaurs set on follow, and I should be effectively able to gather all kinds of materials. So we'll make this a little faster so you don't get totally bored. I don't want this to be a boring tutorial, so basically I can just farm all kinds of stuff, gather lots of materials, and instead of running all the way back to my base every single time, I've got my Parasaurs that follow me around, and once I start to get high on my weight, I'll just offload everything onto them and keep on going. So I'm just going to farm materials for a while, and every time I get enough, I'll start crafting some of the components for the new house. And hey, I leveled up a bit while we were cut and earned the Parasaur engram for the saddle. So now I'm actually crafting the saddle, and here we go. My experience just jumped up a lot from that. They're worth a lot of experience. So just like with my clothing, I'm going to click on the saddle and equip it onto the hotbar of the Parasaur. By the way, if I didn't mention it before, you can use square to access the inventory immediately, and then triangle to ride them. And hey, we are finally riding a dinosaur. So we got a bow and arrow and a dinosaur we can ride. Now this is where Ark starts getting kind of fun. So Let's see if we can do some hunting on the Parasaur. Oh, here we go. Perfect. We have a Dilophosaur. Great thing to start out hunting with. I'm going to try to hit him in the head because if I do, I'll do a lot more damage. Oh, yeah, he is actually running away already, which means he's hurt pretty badly. Most dinosaurs will run when they get damaged enough. And yeah, and the Parasaur actually took him out the rest of the way. So there are some benefits to having a couple dinos. I used a ton of hide when I was making that saddle, so I'm going to try to get mostly hide from dinosaurs that I kill from now on. I'm also going to need that for a lot of things. Now, one thing I should mention, if you tell a dinosaur to follow you while you're on the back of that another dinosaur, it's actually going to follow that dinosaur and not you. So when you hop off the dinosaur, it's going to keep following the one you were standing on. So I usually like to tell them to follow before I hop on the dinosaur because otherwise, your dinosaur could run off and the other dinosaur chases after it. It gets really awkward. So I'm going to head back towards my base. We've had a pretty successful hunting and gathering spree, and we've gone a decent ways down the coast. So I'm going to go ahead and keep gathering and crafting stuff, and we'll cut back to it when I'm finished. But I'm going to be slowly making thatch foundations and thatch ceilings, which I will eventually use on my base. And I'm going to make a lot of wooden ladders once I unlock those, and wooden foundations, wooden walls, things like that. Because this little tiny shack is not going to be good enough house for us for very long. Hey, a dodo. If I use my hatchet to kill it, I won't use up any arrows or break any spears, so it's just a little more efficient that way. It's hard to kill them with a hatchet, but it'll happen. And I'm still collecting all the dinosaur droppings I can because we will eventually be using those for farming because they make great fertilizer. I'm not just disgusting and like carrying poop around all day. So now we're back at the house. I'm going to go ahead and spend some time offloading all of the materials that I've made and putting them in storage. And we will do some gathering before the next video when we're ready to start exploring the beach some more. So tune in next time. It'll start getting a lot more interesting after this.